Just wanted to give you a quick update on the backyard. I was able to move everything over, which allowed me to have a workspace. Hi, welcome and welcome back. I'm Eden, and today I'm going to see if I could DIY this bench of my dreams. So I wanted something different. I thought maybe I could use pole wrap, but then I was like, everybody's using pole wrap. I want it to be substantial, I want it to be heavy, I want it to look high end. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I hope you join me, and let's get to it. Here's a list of items you're going to need. You're going to need wood, and lots of it. And FYI, I'll put this in the description below. This is just my measurement of the bench, and I'll also copy this in the description below. I honestly had no effing clue what I was doing, but this is the math that I figured out for it. So I knew a half circle is 180 degrees. So I knew I needed to do 8 cuts at 20 degrees and the last 2 cuts at 10 degrees to make 180. So this is the bench. So right now I have it upside down. So let me just go over this really quickly. These are 2x2s. I measured my bench at 20 inches. So these posts right here are 20 inches. The reason I did that is because my husband's tall, so I wanted it to accommodate his height. So this bench is going to go on the foot of the bed. To figure out what the measurements for your foot of the bed is for, like, lengthwise, it's 80 to 90% of the length of the bed. So a standard queen size bed is 60 inches. So I decided to do, it's supposed to be like 4.5 feet for like 90% of the bed. Now for these, again, they're measured at 20 inches, but these were 2x3s. And then I set my angle at 20 degrees on my table saw. Then I measured at 1 inch, so I cut 1 inch off of the 2x3s. So a little math here. So this is 20 degrees, 20 degrees, 20 degrees, 20 degrees, 10 degrees. So my last cut here is at 10 degrees because I wanted it to start going straight. So to make 90 degrees, to make like a right angle, you need 90 degrees. So we have 2, so 20, 40, 60, 80, 10 is 90 to get it to straighten out. You do the same on this side. I was using the 2x3s is I wanted it to have the same width. So I wanted it to have the same width across. You could actually have it very smooth, but I wanted to show some of the texture. So when you're picking your lumber and you want it smoother and a more, you can't see these lines so much, make sure you get a nice piece of wood and you don't like connect them like this. I wanted the texture on mine, so I left some of these like this, and I wanted to be able to see the lines. If you could see the lines on yours, you don't want to see it, you could put wood filler here, and you could probably paint over it or use spackle and paint over it. But I'm going to stain mine, and I wanted to see the texture. Now for this bottom part, this is going to sit inside. So it's going to sit inside of here, probably about at 5 inches. So what I did was I placed these at the edge. I marked where my center was, and I put it right here because this is my center right here of my bench. So I placed it here and I traced the line around it because this is where I'm going to cut. I was debating if I was going to round it or not. I'm going to round it off. So I'm going to cut. I'm going to use my jigsaw to do that. And I went around here. I'll probably end up cutting a line here. And then I traced along the inside here, all the way around to the other side, and I did the same for this side. Okay, so I just did a dry fit. They fit in here. I marked them. You can't see it, but I marked it with the pencil. You're not going to be able to see the inside of here. I'm going to actually cover this up. So that's why I wasn't too delicate on this part. So let me show you how I'm going to be standing it off from the ground like this. Okay, I took these 2x2s and I cut them down to 5 inches each. So I did 3 of these. So let me show you how am I going to attach them. So I'm going to attach them here. I'm going to use wood screws. I'm going to probably use 1.5 inches or 2-inch ones, depending what I have. I'm going to screw these in. And once I screw this in, I'm going to attach the bottom and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I couldn't get my drill into these sides ones to screw them in, so I decided just to Gorilla Glue them, and I clamped them, and I'll just screw them from the top over here. And same over here. So I'm going to drill this in. Just make sure when you do this, you like mark, like I put left. I put L there so I know which direction goes which when you lay it, because after you cut it, sometimes the inside spacing is not quite the same. And I did the same over here. I put like R for right, and then I also marked the board down there at the bottom. So now I'm going to screw that in, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, I was going to screw in the board, but on the back side I had this part eaten up, and it was actually sticking outside of the stool, and I didn't like the way that looked. So I took it to the table saw to cut off the sides. So let me show you how it looks now, and then I'll screw it in. So this side right here no longer sticks out. So I made sure to cut it down so it fits within the frame. Okay, now I'm going to screw them in my 3 points here, and there. Okay, I'm not really sure what I want to do here. I like the juxtaposition of the curve and then layer the square edges. My husband's kind of afraid that we'll like walk into the edges. So maybe I'll just round them a little bit on the edges and lay them on top like this. But I like it so far. So those gaps, remember, I'm going to cover them.
Sorry, same old story. Girl lost footage. So, here's the image of the bottom of the bench. So all I did was measure those openings that I needed to cover. I cut the wood down to size. I made pocket holes that you see here. I glued it, screwed it in, and then clamped it in place. I did the same for the centerpiece and onto the other side also. And then I glued the top on top. I put weights on it, and then once that dried, I screwed in the top.
Forgot to mention one thing. So I made sure to drive in these nails so I could cover them with wood filler, because if they're above, you're going to have these lumps. Okay, my footage got deleted, so I'm going to go over this really quick. So all I did was did 2 holes here, another 2 holes here on each side. I made sure to drive it in. I'm going to use wood filler to cover it, stain it, and then seal it. I'm going to attempt to make a pillow top for this. It may not make it into the video because it might be a fail. But if you have any questions on how to make this, just leave me a comment. Also, if you want a more in-depth tutorial how to use the sewing machine to make the pillow top, if I do end up making it, also leave a comment, 'cause if I do make the pillow, I probably won't do an in-depth tutorial on how to make that pillow. Just FYI, I should have probably made the template for the pillow before attaching the top, but I'm gonna try my best. So on to the next step, and hopefully everything gets finished.
Step 1, get your cloth, put it on your bench. Get your kids' chalk, go around the bench with the chalk to get your outline, and then from there you measure a 1/4 inch out to get a pattern. Hopefully that makes sense.
Well, able to make the bench of my dreams. I'm able to make a pillow top out of a recycled My Pillow. The cover was actually the curtains that were on my closet. These belts on here were my husband's old belts that he didn't need anymore, so upcycled them. I'm really happy how this turned out, and I hope to see you guys next time on my next Do It Myself adventure. And I just want to say a quick thank you to my subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate very much that you subscribe, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And you guys have a good week. Bye.